right before your reality performs its most profound alchemy, right before the world you know fundamentally reconfigures itself around your new state of being. Something unusual happens. It's not a thunderclap or a blinding flash of light. It doesn't happen outside of you at all. It happens inside. Your entire nervous system, which has been buzzing with a high frequency of anticipation, suddenly and inexplicably stops reacting. It goes quiet. And if you don't understand what this deep, internal silence means, you will sabotage the very moment that was about to change everything for you. You will commit the number one mistake that pushes your manifestation just out of reach. Right at the finish line. Most people have been conditioned to believe that a breakthrough must feel explosive. We expect the heavens to part, to see signs and wonders at every turn, to feel a rush of momentum and adrenaline that confirms our progress. But the true and final precursor to a quantum shift, a genuine alteration of your life's timeline, is not intensity. It's coherence. It is a deep, internal stillness, a harmonious alignment that feels less like a firework and more like a deep, placid ocean. If you misinterpret that profound calm as stagnation, as evidence that you've lost your connection, you will unconsciously create turbulence again. You will behave like a pilot who has been expertly guided by autopilot onto the final landing approach, only to panic at the smooth, automated descent, grabbing the controls to fly the plane himself, sending it veering wildly off course just moments before touchdown. Imagine this. You've been diligently aligning for weeks, maybe even months or years. You have been meditating, scripting, visualizing. You've been doing the work to feel worthy, to feel abundant, to feel loved. And it's been working. The synchronicities have been flowing in like a steady stream, seeing repeating numbers, hearing a particular song that speaks to your desire, having friends bring up topics that are precisely what you've been focused on. The excitement is palpable, a constant hum of energy beneath your skin. It feels, with every fiber of your being, like your new reality is not just close, but imminent. You can taste it. And then, one morning, you wake up and it's gone. The electric hum of excitement has vanished. That steady stream of external signs and winks from the universe has completely dried up. When you check in with yourself, you don't feel high vibe. You don't feel low vibe or depressed. You just feel neutral, still, quiet. When you try to conjure the feeling of your desire, the big, vibrant emotion that was so accessible just yesterday, it feels distant, like an echo in an empty room. It's as if your energetic GPS has been giving you clear, turn-by-turn directions for miles, leading you perfectly through a complex city. And then, just as you're about to pull onto the final street, the voice goes completely silent. The screen just shows your car at a standstill. This is the critical juncture. This is where the untrained mind panics. The ego, your inner critic, hijacks the silence and begins to scream its litany of doubts. See, it wasn't real after all. It taunts. You let yourself get carried away. You got your hopes up for nothing, and now you're back to square one. The silence isn't interpreted as a rival, but as a catastrophic system failure. And so, you begin to scramble. You desperately try to force the visualizations that once came so naturally. You start frantically searching for signs, combing through your day for any shred of evidence that you haven't been abandoned. You try to recreate the lightning in a bottle you felt just days before, chasing the high of that emotional peak. trying to make something happen through sheer force of will. This desperate reaction is the single most destructive thing you can do at this stage. It is the energetic equivalent of a gardener who has planted a precious seed. They've tended the soil, watered it perfectly, and know that just beneath the surface, it is about to sprout. But in a moment of panic that they cannot yet see the green shoot, they frantically dig up the soil to check if it's still growing. In that single act of mistrust, they disrupt the delicate, miraculous process that was unfolding in its own perfect timing. You disrupt your own becoming. You reset the cycle. This silence, this neutrality, this apparent void is not a sign of failure. It is the signal that you have arrived. That silent GPS doesn't mean the system is broken. It means you're parked in the driveway of your destination. The journey of striving is over. So what, precisely, is this quiet, neutral place? It is a state of pure being where you are no longer striving for a new reality. Because on a subconscious, energetic level, you have already become it. The chaos of becoming has resolved itself into the stillness of being. When your nervous system finally achieves this level of profound harmony, or coherence, it feels neutral. To the ego, which thrives on drama and emotional highs and lows, it can feel like emotional flatness. It can even feel like detachment. But that detachment is not a loss of your desire. It is the removal of all energetic interference. It is the absence of the one thing that was keeping your desire at a distance, the feeling of wanting it, which is the energetic signal of lacking it. Think of it like a world-class symphony orchestra. The tuning-up phase, which happens just before the concert begins, is chaotic. It's a cacophony of hundreds of unrelated sounds, a violin shrieking a high a clarinet running a scale, a tuba letting out a low groan. This noisy, messy period is you in the early stages of alignment, wrestling with your limiting beliefs, processing old emotions, and trying to harmonize your thoughts and feelings. It's necessary, but it isn't the final performance. Now, what happens in the moments right before the conductor lifts their baton to begin the first piece? Silence. A perfect, profound, and electric silence. Every instrument is tuned. Every musician is ready. They are not preparing anymore. They are not tuning. They are waiting for the downbeat that will initiate the masterpiece. That silence is not a sign that the concert has been canceled. It is the irrefutable sign that the masterpiece is about to begin. The potential energy in that silence is more powerful than all the noise that came before it. This is the state you enter right before your shift. You have successfully moved from the energetic position of wanting something in the future to embodying its reality in the now. And when you truly embody a state, there is no longer a strong emotional charge associated with it. Think about something you know to be unequivocally true. Like your own name. You don't wake up in the morning feeling a jolt of ecstatic excitement that your name is still your name. You don't need synchronicities to prove it to you. You don't strive to have that name. You just are. It's a neutral, known, foundational fact of your existence. The striving stops. The longing stops. The desperate searching stops. This quiet state is the energetic equivalent of the universe sending you a clear and simple message. Order confirmed. Your new reality is being prepared for delivery. Please stand by. This state isn't apathy. It is the deepest, most unwavering form of trust. Now, for the logical mind, for the part of you that needs to understand the mechanics behind the magic. Let's ground this in tangible physiology. What is actually happening inside your body during this quiet, neutral phase? The answer lies in a measurable, scientifically validated state known as heart-brain coherence. Imagine for a moment that your body is a sophisticated broadcasting tower. Every emotion you experience creates a distinct electromagnetic field, primarily generated by your heart. When you experience chaotic, stressful emotions, like doubt, fear, anxiety, or impatience, your heart rhythm becomes jagged and disordered. This is a state of incoherence. In this state, you're broadcasting a signal that is filled with static, like a radio station that's fading in and out. The brain receives this noisy, jumbled signal from the heart, becomes disorganized itself, and remains locked in survival mode, the fight-or-flight response. The universe, acting like a sensitive radio receiver, cannot clearly tune into your station because the signal is so corrupted and unclear. However, when you consistently cultivate calm, elevated emotions like trust, gratitude, and a quiet appreciation for the present moment, your heart rhythm smooths out into a harmonious, orderly, wave-like pattern. This is coherence. In this state, you are broadcasting a pure, clean, and powerful signal on a very specific frequency, the frequency of your embodied desire. This clear, organized signal travels up the vagus nerve to the brain. The brain's own electrical rhythms then literally synchronize and entrain to the heart's harmonious signal. The brain follows the heart's lead. That quiet, still, neutral feeling you experience right before a reality shift. It is the subjective, internal experience of your entire biological system operating in this peak state of deep coherence. Coherence is not a fluffy metaphor. It is a measurable biological state where your heart, brain, and nervous system are in total harmony. An organized, coherent signal gets a clear, unambiguous reception. The quantum field, the universal intelligence that orchestrates reality, does not respond to the volume of your desperate wanting. It responds to the clarity of your signal of being. Whether you interpret it spiritually or physiologically, a coherent system sends a stable signal, and stable systems create stable outcomes. The quiet phase is the sign that your signal has finally become crystal clear. So, if this coherent, quiet state is the ultimate goal, the energetic destination, why is it so terrifyingly easy to sabotage? The answer lies in a primal function of your brain, its prediction error mechanism. Think of your brain as a highly advanced home security system, one that's designed not just to detect intruders, but to learn your daily patterns and flag anything that deviates from the norm. For weeks, you've been creating and reinforcing a new pattern. When I focus on my goal, I feel a surge of excitement, and the universe responds with synchronicities. Your brain's security system learns and logs this pattern. High emotion plus external signs equals normal and safe progress. It creates a baseline for what the journey is supposed to feel like. Then, one day, you achieve coherence. The striving ends. The excitement subsidies peace. The signs stop because you no longer need them. Everything goes quiet. The security system immediately scans the new reality. Everything is still and neutral and compares it with its learned pattern. It's supposed to be exciting and full of signs. Mismatch, prediction error, alarm. Your brain, in its ancient and instinctual wisdom, interprets the peaceful silence not as success, but as a grave threat. It thinks the system has failed. It instantly kicks you out of your calm, coherent, parasympathetic state and throws you back into a stressed, incoherent, sympathetic state, flooding your body with cortisol and adrenaline. The panic you feel is a biological alarm bell. The very act of anxiously checking for the result, of questioning the silence, is what trips the alarm and shatters the pristine coherence you worked so hard to build. You are unwittingly using your brain's ancient survival wiring to sabotage your own conscious creation. How, then, do you master this crucial final stage? How do you hold steady in the quiet and allow the landing sequence to complete itself? You must learn to recognize this neutral state not as a warning, but as your trophy. You must see it as the signal of success. And then, you must protect that state with gentle vigilance. Your job is no longer to be the striver or the creator. You have graduated. You are now the guardian of the peace. Here is your new protocol, your 3-step guide to protecting the sacred pause. First, acknowledge and immediately reframe. The very moment you notice the silence and feel that familiar twinge of panic begin to rise in your chest, you must stop. Take a conscious breath. Plant your feet on the floor and recognize what is happening with a new awareness. Say to yourself, internally or out loud, I am here. This is it. This is not an absence. This is the presence of completion. The work is done. My only job now is to rest and receive. You must consciously and deliberately reframe the neutrality, not as a system failure, but as the destination you were seeking all along. This act of reframing is a conscious choice to override the brain's automatic, primal panic response. Second, engage the heart to sustain coherence. Your analytical mind will desperately try to pull you back into old thought loops of worry and doubt. It will want to figure it out. You must override the mind by going directly to the heart. Physically shift your attention from your head to the center of your chest. Imagine your breath flowing gently in and out of your heart space. Slow your breathing down to a balanced rhythm, perhaps inhaling for 5 seconds and exhaling for 5 seconds. This simple, rhythmic breathing is scientifically shown to promote and sustain a coherent state in the heart. Now, activate a gentle, regenerative feeling. You're not trying to force the thunderstorm of excitement you felt before. That's the old state. Instead, you are simply tending to a small, steady candle flame of quiet appreciation. Feel genuine gratitude for the simple fact that you are breathing. Feel appreciation for the warmth of the sun on your skin, or a happy, peaceful memory of a loved one or a pet. You are no longer chasing high-amplitude emotions. You are cultivating a stable, peaceful presence. Third, go live your life. This may be the most crucial step. The process is already in motion, and the order has been placed and confirmed. It is now processing. Think of it like placing an order on Amazon. Once you click Confirm Purchase, you receive a confirmation email. You trust that a massive, complex, and reliable system has been set into motion to deliver your package. You don't spend the next hours and days staring at the order page, hitting refresh every 10 seconds. You don't call the warehouse to make sure they're working on it. You trust the process is underway, and you go about your day. By taking your focus off the when and the how, you stop interfering. You stop running the brain's prediction error program. You are embodying pure trust. You are sending the clearest possible signal to the universe that you know it's handled. Go for a walk in nature. Get completely absorbed in a project. Cook a delicious meal. Lose yourself in a good book. By shifting your focus from a state of anxious waiting to a state of peaceful living, you hold the door open for your manifestation to arrive. The journey of conscious creation is not a linear, uphill climb of ever-increasing excitement. It is a cycle, a rhythm, and the most misunderstood, yet most sacred. Part of that cycle is the profound pause at the very end. This stillness is not a problem to be solved. It is the solution manifesting itself. It is the undeniable sign that you have succeeded in shifting your internal state so profoundly that it has become your new, natural, neutral normal. The next time the world inside you falls quiet, do not panic. Do not scramble. Do not dig up the seed to see if it's growing. Take a deep breath and smile. Acknowledge that you have arrived at the final, holy stage. Your only job now is to be the guardian of that internal peace, to trust in the profound wisdom of the silence, and to hold your alignment with gentle, unwavering faith. The shift, when it appears in your physical world, will not feel explosive or shocking. It will feel obvious, natural. It will feel like coming home, as if it was always going to happen this way. Because in a way, once your coherence stabilized, it already had.